Usually I'm opposed to if a politician is out in a public setting, but for non-business reasons. I don't like people confronting them. It just bothers me. Because if they're with your family or your kids, you're having dinner, when they were like attacking like anyone in Trump's family who would be at dinner and then they'd go in like make their life miserable. I think that's mean, and I just don't do that. I don't like the meanness. Now, in this scenario, I might make an exception for Bob Ferguson. So there was a high schooler who Bob Ferguson was allegedly at like a track meet and his kids were running, but he was like somewhere standing off alone about to make a phone call. So the only reason I'm like, okay, he's separated from the whole scenario. A high schooler goes up to him and asks him a few questions, and it exposes so much of what's wrong with Bob Ferguson as a quote-unquote leader. So as you know, because you see it in every single commercial break, Bob Ferguson has been spending a ton of money on TV to paint Dave Reichert as some right-wing lunatic, right? But also some of those ads you're seeing were paid for by outside money. You can tell at the bottom, like, no candidate authorized this ad and it'll have this or whatever it is. And so some people call that support dark money. As opposed to like Bob Ferguson's campaign where you have money coming in, you can go on the PDC and look at like who's funding these things, etc. So Bob has made this big shtick on the campaign trail about I'm the only candidate who doesn't accept corporate PAC money. And that's true for this campaign, but in the past, as you know, Bob Ferguson has long accepted money from some of the biggest corporations in the Pacific Northwest and across the country. So now he wants to act all righteous and sanctimonious and saying, yeah, this time I'm not doing it because big corporate money, bad. And he won't acknowledge that he took money from like all the big corporations in the past. So all of that, to explain this clip. So this kid, high schooler, goes up to him. Watch the exchange.
Just wondering what your thoughts are on dark money in politics right now. And
not a fan. Had a lawsuit about it. We made him pay millions of dollars. So yeah, when you're out there running, it's no fun to be dealing with dark money.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just wondering your thoughts on the dark money being spent against Dave Reichert on Washington's airwaves right now. Like if you had any opinions on that.
That's fire politics for him. Yeah.
Think about that. He literally says, oh, yeah, dark money's bad. It's really hard to be out there running against dark money. And then this kid goes, yeah, but what about the dark money being spent against Dave Reichert? And he said, that's part of politics. You cannot come up with a better 20-second encapsulation of who Bob Ferguson is as a politician, as a person, and as a quote-unquote leader, is that he hates dark money, but if it's benefiting me, great. That's who he is. Anything that benefits him politically, no matter how immoral, he's fine with. That's always been who he is. And this clip from a brave high schooler really encapsulates that.